Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, August 1st, 2024. And here are some of today's trends in the news. And remember, the trend is your friend, and we're the only ones that give you the trends research, trends analysis, and trend forecasts anywhere in the world. Can't find it anywhere else because they don't know how to do it. That's right. Yeah. Trend tracking, far better than Megatrends, Time Magazine. Oh, it's Salenti, huh? Yeah. International best-selling book here, Trends 2000. Yeah, I wonder why. Nobody's giving you what we're giving you. And again, the more subscribers we have, the more we can do. Not in the sense that we're going to give you more. What the magazine's 200 pages a week, and you can listen to it. And it's a magazine. You don't have to read everything. You want to read about high-tech science. You want to read about technocracy. You want to read about AI. You want to read about geopolitics. You want to read about the economic updates. You want to know about the global economic and national economic trends. Again, it's all there. For the grand total of $2.56 a week. Nothing. Particularly as inflation keeps going up, it's pennies. And on the market front, boy, the Dow was way up. NASDAQ was way up. S&P was way up, and now they're way down. The Dow fell nearly 500 points. S&P 1.37%. NASDAQ down 2.3%. Again, we said, like with the dot-com bust, the dot-com reality was real, but they over-speculated in the markets. And they're doing the same thing now. They're over-speculating in AI. AI is the future, unquestionably. But a lot of companies making up stuff, IPOs, the whole thing, created out of false nothing. So that's a reality. You look at that stock, NVIDIA. This is the language of CNBC. Every big tech stock, such as NVIDIA, felt the pain with the artificial intelligence chip leader off 6.7%. As investors took some chips off the table. Investors. Fucking gambling. Stop this investment shit. Investing. Fuck off. Again, why did the markets go down? Well, the job numbers came in weaker than expected. And the ISM manufacturing index, so that tells you what the factory activity is in the United States. You ready? 46.8%. Anything under 50% is negative. Is slave landing. We're manufacturing nothing because the scumbag pricks like Bill Clinton and the rest gave us NAFTA and the world, put China into the World Trade Organization and sent our manufacturing out to cheap labor companies. Oh, how you folks like it up there in the Rust Belts, huh? Yeah. By the way, a lot of these Rust Belt areas are coming back in little pieces because the people are moving out of the bigger cities like the New Yorks and the San Franciscos and the others, and they're going to more affordable places. And so too a lot of the migrants that keep flooding in. So that's an on-trend opportunity. It ain't bad as it used to be. The S&P, by the way, it's still up 14% for the year. 3 companies own 88% of the S&P 500. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Totally a gambler's game. And of course, the Fed yesterday signaled that they're going to do a rate cut in September, but it looks like they're a little too slow on it, and they should be heating it up right now. Yep. What do we got here? Inflation picks up, hits rate cut hopes. Inflation unexpectedly heated up in the Eurozone. It came in at consumer prices 2.6%. And of course, they're much higher than that. They rig the numbers to keep them lower. Dragflation, we've been warning about it. Read this week's Trends Journal. Look at your Eurozone numbers. Inflation up as economy goes down, dragflation. You're not allowed to say drag unless you say gay the same way, Take it easy. Again, I could care less who's gay, who's straight, who's trans. I keep it all to yourself. I'm making fun of the fucking bullshit language that they use. Am I blue? There used to be a song, Am I blue? Was I gay until day? That used to mean happy. Can't say that anymore. So you can't say dragflation. Oh, you calling me a drag? Take it easy. Take it easy. Oh, by the way, we're going to go into more of a dead woke economy environment when Kamala Harris gets elected. And again, the only way we see her losing is through a market crash or some other wild card. Otherwise, we see her beating Trump big. And stupid Trump came out with this stuff the other day. This is the fucking narcissistic crap that spews out of the shithead's mouth. Rather than building himself, talking to black journalists in Chicago, he said that Kamala Harris had misled voters about her race. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black. And now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know. Is she Indian or is she black? How fucking stupid can you be to say this shit? So she's going to get the strong black vote. And here's my other forecast. By the 2024 election, less than 100 days from now, the election, people going to the polls won't be voting for the former president, Donald Trump, and the vice president, Kamala Harris. They'll be voting for the former president, Donald Trump, and the current president, Kamala Harris. I think there's an excellent opportunity for one day we wake up and say, President Biden just announced that he woke up and he realized he's brain dead and he's turning over the presidency to Kamala Harris. Yeah. So now the people will be voting for the president versus the former president. And that'll jack her up even more. The 2024 election, Vice President Kamala Harris, the new presumptive Democratic nominee for president, leads former President Donald Trump 49% to 45% in a nationwide 2024 election matchup. Harris received strong support from Democrats, 95%. You ready? And black voters, 86%. That's going to go to 95%. And holds a substantial 55 to 33% lead among 18 to 34 years old. And that will increase as she goes more woke, more LGBTQMXY, LMNOP, and more pro-abortion. And this is according to Daily Kos /Civics poll. Again, you go back to your Trends Journal and look at the trend forecast we did. Special trend alert, Kamala Harris 2024. We did it last Thursday. The Trends Journal had forecast that Joe Biden would step down and Kamala Harris would run for president in 2024. And we now forecast, minus a wild card, such as a stock market crash, Harris will beat Trump in the race for the White House. And again, said that she was going to run. It's all facts are there in our 17 May 2022 Trends Journal. So going back to the markets and what's going on around the world, again, you're seeing the markets going down now because there's fears of recession. Again, it's not going to be recession. It's going to be dragflation. Take it easy, you drag queens. Yeah, I know you're over there doing your crap in France. Now, I'm talking about that. Dragflation means the economy's going down and inflation's going up. China's factory activity contracts for first time in 9 months, 49.8. Again, anything below 50 is negative. And we go on, again, all detailed in your Trends Journal. Before this happened, the whole spotlight's on China week after week. And the bigs keep getting bigger. BHP revised copper ambitions with $3.3 billion deal for South American miner. We write about this because week after week, we put bigs getting bigger. M&A activities picking up again. They're buying up more and more and more. They own more and more and more. And then going back to that cover of the Trends Journal, this week's, it's the robber barons that are running America. Free elections, got no money, got no chance. So the bigs own everything. And again, in this week's Trends Journal, we got all the data from who's giving who to Trump, who's giving who to Harris. All the facts are there. Diego warns over squeezed consumers as sales suffer fall. We warned about this, been writing about it. L'Oreal sales suffer. One after another, week after week, we're putting all the companies where the sales are going way, way down. Oh, but the markets are going up. Wall Street has nothing to do with Main Street. It's a rigged game by the robber barons. They own it by the numbers. 1% own 54% of the equity markets. When you put the 10%, 90%. All right? And I told you already, 3 companies own the S&P 500. Buyout firms adjust to higher interest rates. There you go. Wall Street Journal, buyout firms, scumbags who own everything. And now on to the international news. Disgusting what's going on. The Israeli genocide keeps expanding to other countries, bombs away over Lebanon and Tehran, killing whoever they want, ramping up this war. And again, Harris is going to play both sides of the coin here. And it looks like the word's out. I don't know who she's going to pick, but that guy from Pennsylvania, the governor, because they need the swing state, which is the stupidity that I said that Trump didn't do by picking Vance, because Vance is from Ohio, and Trump won Ohio big against Biden in 2020. So you got to get somebody from a swing state. So it looks like the word's out. I don't know. It's either going to be the guy from Arizona or this guy Shapiro from Pennsylvania, who's very, 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 very pro-genocide. Iran leader, Zionist regime prepared the ground for its severe punishment. Dear Iranian nation, again, what we do in the Trends Journal, we cover the world. We want to hear what everybody's saying, not what just, I listen to MSC because I'm a libtard and I like the shit that they shove down my throat. No, I'm a conservative. I like the shit that Fox shoves down my throat. All right? We look around the world. We want to hear what Israel's saying, the Arabs are saying, the Persians are saying, the Americans are saying, the Europeans are saying, the Asians are saying. We go around the world looking for what they're saying, reporting on, and how they look at issues. Then we give you our trends analysis. This is totally ignored by the mainstream media. Dear Iran nation, the brave leader and prominent Palestinian mujahid, Mr. Ismail Haniyeh, or however you pronounce his name, joined his creator in the early hours of dawn. And the Great Resistance Front is mourning his loss. The criminal terrorist Zionist regime martyred our dear guest in our territory and has caused our grief. But it has also prepared the ground for severe punishment. He goes on, he goes, however, following this bitter, tragic event, which has taken place within the borders of the Islamic Republic, we believe it is our duty to take revenge. As we used to say in the Bronx, payback's a bitch. Iran condemns Israel's aggression on Lebanon. Iran has condemned the Israeli attack on Beirut, urging the UN Security Council and UN Secretary General to take immediate action and hold Israel accountable for its violations of international law and humanitarian principles. What the fuck are they talking about? Israel could do anything they like, just like the United States, kill anybody they want for any reason, any place, anywhere. How dare he try to bring the UN into this? The members of the Security Council must not be fooled by Israel's distorted narratives. The latest act of aggression and cowardly attacks by Israeli regime today, 30 July 2024, targeting civilians and civilian infrastructures in the southern suburbs of Beirut, Lebanon, demonstrates that this regime has no respect for the principles of international law. Of course they don't. Look what they're doing. Look at the murder, the mass murder of the Palestinians, and this is hardly news in America anymore. The slaughter in front of everybody's eyes, over 40,000 of them, demolished Gaza, which they're going to take over. Israel delivered crushing blows to enemies, says Netanyahu. Yep, crushing blows to enemies. He said, Israel has delivered crushing blows to our enemies, explicitly mentioning the killing of Hezbollah leader Shukra in South Beirut. Citizens of Israel, this is the quote from Netanyahu, challenging days lie ahead. Since the strike in Beirut, there are threats sounding from all directions. We are prepared for any scenario, and we will stand united and determined against any threat. Israel will exact a heavy price for any aggressions against us from any arena. You got that wrong, man. You will get hit and pay a heavy price if this escalates. And the people of Israel will suffer for your murderous aggression. Yep. The guy, by the way, who they killed in Iran, he was Hamas's international diplomat that was doing the peace deal. So they killed the guy doing peace because they don't want any peace. And this is, and they were doing it in Qatar. From Qatar, they said, political assassinations and continued targeting of civilians in Gaza while talks continue lead us to ask, how can mediation succeed when one party assassinates the negotiator on the other side? And again, this is from News from the Middle East. In Israel, the mood was buoyant as Israelis welcomed what they saw as a major achievement in the war against Hamas. Yep. So they killed the guy that was doing a ceasefire. And now from Lebanon, the Hezbollah had said that fighting has entered a new phase and Israel, quote, will weep terribly. Again, they're ramping up the war. Israel's ramping up the war. And the EU calls for maximum restraint after Hamas leader assassinated. This is from Euronews. Oh, yeah, you're calling for maximum restraint from the European Union, but you don't condemn Israel for what they're doing. That's the fucking EU.
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
Could you imagine if Iran and Lebanon were assassinating Israeli important people? Oh my God, how terrible. We'll support Israel to fight anybody that they want. Then, of course, there's the article about Israelis press a release of 9 soldiers suspected of abusing Palestinian man. They're shoving things up his ass. Yeah. And this is reported on antiwar.com. Israeli lawmaker says raping Palestinian prisoners is legitimate. A member of the Israeli Knesset has defended the idea of raping Palestinian prisoners after Israeli soldiers accused of sexually torturing detainees at the detention center, wherever the hell it was. The arrest took place on Monday. In the meeting of lawmakers, Hanak Milwitsky, a member of Netanyahu's Likud party, was asked if it was legitimate, quote, to insert a stick into a person's rectum. He replied, yes, if he is a Nukba, that's a Hamas militant. Everything was legitimate to do, everything. According to Haaretz, which we subscribe to, we pay to hear what the Israeli news is saying. The Palestinian prisoner who was raped suffered from a ruptured bowel, a severe injury to his anus, lung damage, and broken ribs. Yep, it's all right. And again, it keeps on going and going. We got a lot more here. And what's going on? Russia increasing the attacks against Ukraine. The United States sending another $1.7 billion of our money to aid Ukraine. Here, group of Silicon Valley investors vow to back Harris campaign. This is from the New York Times today. Oh, look at the cover of your magazine. Free election? Got no money? Got no chance. That's all it is. The country is run by a crime syndicate. $500 million in aid going to Philippines to stop China. Who the fuck are you kidding? This is to enrich the military-industrial complex. Yeah, so that's some of what you got. And again, go to your Trends Journal and don't forget your T-shirt. Hey, politicians, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Hey, politicians. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. By the way, I can't say it, but if you go to the Trends Journal, we're not allowed there anymore because of things they don't like what I've said. So they're going to do everything they can to blacklist us. So please do what you can to support us. Again, we're giving you everything we can. And what we're giving you, you're not getting anywhere else in the world. So hit that subscribe button on the link over here and spread the word, because we're spreading the truth. And we're spreading the truth in Trends. And don't forget to look at the great interview I did yesterday with Judge Andrew Napolitano, Celente and the judge. Thanks.